Hey there, and welcome to the channel. If you're passionate about self-growth, motivation, and mastering your mind, you're in the right place. Here, we break down powerful books and life-changing ideas to help you take control of your emotions, your habits, and your future. So if you're ready to level up, hit that subscribe button and let's grow together. Now, let's dive into today's book, Master Your Motivation by Thibaut Meurisse. This book is part of Thibaut Meurisse's powerful Mastery series, a collection of straight-to-the-point guides designed to help you take full control of your mind, emotions, and life. After teaching us how to master your emotions, Thibaut now shows us how to master your motivation, helping us break through resistance, take bold action, and finally become the person we've always wanted to be. If you're ready to stop procrastinating and start showing up with purpose, this is the book and the moment that can change everything. Part 1. The Motivation Myth. Let's start with the biggest myth about motivation and the reason so many of us stay stuck. We've been told, just get motivated, like motivation is some magical feeling that shows up, taps you on the shoulder, and carries you through every challenge in life. But how often does that happen? The truth is, most days motivation doesn't show up. You don't feel like doing the work. You wait for the right mood, the right time, or the right burst of inspiration, but nothing changes. That's because motivation isn't a starting point. It's a byproduct, a result. And this is where Master Your Motivation flips everything you thought you knew. Thibaut Meurisse says, motivation is not something you need before you act. It's something you get by acting. That line right there, it changes everything. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel pumped. You just need to begin. Because once you start, even with something tiny, you create movement. And movement leads to momentum. And momentum generates motivation. Imagine pushing a heavy car. The first shove is hard, really hard. But once the wheels turn, even slightly, you feel the difference. The resistance starts to fade. That's momentum. Motivation works the same way. The hardest part is starting. But here's the secret. You don't need to conquer the whole mountain. You just need to take the first step. That might mean writing one sentence, doing one push-up, making one phone call, something small, something doable, something now. Because every small action says, I'm moving, I'm capable, I'm becoming the person I want to be. So the next time you think, I don't feel like it, remember this. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. Part 2. How to build real motivation. Now that we've shattered the myth of motivation, let's talk about how to actually build it. Because motivation doesn't come from hype or willpower. It comes from clarity, emotion, and meaningful goals. Let me ask you this. What are you working toward right now? Can you describe your goal in one sentence with full confidence? If your answer sounds something like, I want to get fit, or I just want to be successful, that's not going to cut it. Those goals are too vague. They don't inspire action. Your brain doesn't respond to unclear commands. It shuts down. It gets overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you procrastinate. So here's what Thibaut Meurisse tells us. You need to make your goals specific, measurable, and emotionally charged. Let me show you the difference. Instead of, I want to lose weight, try, I want to lose 10 kilograms in 90 days so I can feel confident in my clothes, wake up energized, and finally love what I see in the mirror. Do you feel the difference? That second version is a goal with clarity and emotional fire behind it. It's not just about the number. It's about how your life will feel when you get there. And emotion is the fuel of motivation. If you don't feel anything when you say your goal out loud, you're not going to stick with it when things get hard. So how do you find that emotional fire? Use the 5 whys technique. Here's how it works. Let's say your goal is, I want to start a business. Now ask yourself, why? Because I want financial freedom. Why? Because I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because I want to provide a better life for my family. Why? Because I want my kids to have opportunities one never had. Why? Because I want to break the cycle. Now that's powerful. That's not just a goal. That's a mission. And missions build motivation. When your goal is backed by emotion, you stop relying on willpower and start moving from something much deeper. Purpose. So if you've been stuck, drifting or uninspired, maybe it's not you. Maybe it's your goal. Maybe it's time to upgrade it from something generic to something that lights a fire inside you. Because clarity plus emotion equals unstoppable momentum. Part 3. The real enemies: fear, doubt, and overwhelm. Now that you've got a clear, emotionally powerful goal, let's talk about what's still holding you back. Because even when the goal is clear, even when it matters deeply, you still hesitate, you still freeze, you still avoid. Why? Thibaut Meurisse is blunt about this. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline. It's because of something deeper, something we all feel but rarely talk about. Fear, doubt, overwhelm, perfectionism. Let's break them down. Fear is the biggest killer of motivation. It wears 1,000 masks. Sometimes it sounds like, what if I fail? Other times it's, what if I succeed and can't handle it? And often it's disguised as, I'm not ready yet. But guess what? Fear never truly leaves. And waiting for it to disappear, that's how dreams die slowly. The only way out is through. Then there's self-doubt, that quiet voice that says, who do you think you are? You failed before. What makes this time different? Self-doubt is sneaky. It sounds logical. It sounds like playing it safe. But it's really just your comfort zone whispering, don't grow, stay small. And then comes overwhelm, that feeling of looking at your big goal and thinking, where do I even start? There's too much to do. I'll never finish this. So you don't start at all. You binge YouTube. You scroll TikTok. You clean your room for the 7th time this week. Sound familiar? You're not alone. This is what Meurisse calls internal friction, the invisible emotional resistance that makes every task feel heavier than it actually is. The solution isn't to push harder. It's to lower the resistance. Take your big, scary goal and break it down until it's so small, your brain has nothing to fight against. That's why the 2-minute rule works so well. Because you can't win a war with fear in your head, but you can beat it with one simple action. Write one sentence. Do 5 jumping jacks. Record a 10-second video draft. Open a laptop and just name the file. Tiny action kills hesitation. And tiny actions, repeated, become momentum. And momentum? That's your real motivation engine. So the next time you say, I don't have time, I'm not motivated, I'll do it later, ask yourself, is it really time you're lacking? Or is fear in the driver's seat? Because here's the truth. You're not unmotivated. You're just blocked. And when you learn to remove those blocks, one by one, you become unstoppable. Part 4. Momentum motivation. The shift that changes everything. Now that we've cleared the emotional blocks, let's talk about what actually drives long-term motivation. Here's the game changer. You don't need more motivation. You need more momentum. Read that again. Because most people think they need to feel excited before they act. But in reality, it's action that creates excitement. Motion creates emotion. Thibaut Meurisse puts it like this. Don't wait to be motivated. Act, and motivation will come. Let's make this real. Imagine a huge, heavy train sitting still on the tracks. You try to push it, and it doesn't move. But if it starts rolling, even slowly, it builds speed. It builds power. And eventually, it becomes unstoppable. That's what momentum feels like in your life. But you'll never feel that unstoppable energy if you don't start moving. So the real question is, how do you build momentum when you feel stuck? 2 words. Start small. Tiny actions feel safe. They don't scare your brain. And when something feels easy, you're more likely to do it again. That's why Meurisse teaches the 2-minute rule. Pick a task so simple it can be done in under 2 minutes. Want to write a book? Just write 1 sentence. Want to start working out? Just put on your workout clothes and stretch for 2 minutes. Want to build a business? Open your laptop and brainstorm one idea. Because once you start, something shifts in your brain. The resistance fades. The energy flows. And suddenly you're in it. Here's the deeper reason it works. Your brain loves progress. Even small wins release dopamine, the feel-good chemical that fuels momentum. It says, hey, we're doing something. Let's keep going. And the more progress you see, the more motivated you become. Not because you forced it, but because you built it step by step. So if you've been waiting for motivation, stop. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Don't scroll for the perfect hack. Just take one small step today, because that tiny step, that's how momentum is born. And once you have momentum, you won't need to chase motivation ever again. Part 5. Change your identity, change your life. Here's a truth that most motivational content never tells you. You'll never stay consistent with actions that don't match who you believe you are. Let that sink in, because this isn't just about discipline or hustle. It's about identity. You see, every time you try to build a new habit or chase a big goal, you're not just changing what you do, you're challenging who you think you are. And that's powerful, but also terrifying. Thibaut Meurisse explains it like this. We all carry an internal story about ourselves. I'm not disciplined. I've always been lazy. I just never finish what I start. Sound familiar? But here's the thing. As long as you believe that identity, your actions will bend to match it. Because humans are wired to act in alignment with who they think they are. So if deep down, you don't believe you're the type of person who follows through, you'll find ways to prove yourself right, even if you say you want to change. But here's the shift. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, ask yourself, who do I want to become? That question rewires everything. It's not, I want to write a book. It's, I'm a writer. Writers write every day. It's not, I want to be fit. It's, I am someone who trains, even when it's hard. When you embody the identity first, even in small ways, the behavior follows naturally. And with every small win, you reinforce that new identity. Every workout is a vote for the person who doesn't give up. Every time you sit down to write, you prove to yourself, this is who I am now. So how do you shift your identity? Start by collecting identity wins, tiny actions that align with your desired self-image. Want to be a confident speaker? Record a 30-second voice note today. Want to be an entrepreneur? Make one decision today, like a CEO would. Want to be consistent? Show up today, even if it's messy. Because identity isn't built in one leap. It's built in the micro decisions you repeat. So remember, if you keep acting like your old self, you'll keep living your old story. But when you start showing up like the person you want to become, even before you feel ready, you start writing a new one. Your future is shaped not just by your goals, but by your identity. Change how you see yourself, and everything else follows. Part 6. What to do when motivation fades. Let's be honest. Even with clarity, even with momentum, even when you feel like you're on the right path, there will still be days when motivation disappears. You'll wake up and feel tired. You'll hit a wall. You'll miss a day, then another. And suddenly, you'll hear that voice whisper, you're falling behind. See, you're still the same. Maybe this just isn't for you. But here's the truth. Motivation fading doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're human. And Thibaut Meurisse wants you to understand this. Success is not about staying motivated all the time. It's about having a system that keeps you moving, even when your motivation isn't there. One of the tools he shares is the motivation journal. It's not complicated. Every day or week, take 5 minutes to reflect. What small win did I have today? Why does my goal still matter to me? What's one simple thing I can do next? This builds something far more powerful than hype. It builds self-awareness. It keeps your why in front of you. And when your reason is stronger than your resistance, you move forward, even on the hard days. And when you fall off track, don't shame yourself. Don't start over. Resume. Meurisse says it best. Perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. So instead of punishing yourself for missing a day, ask, what's the smallest step I can take to get back in motion? Not a 10-hour grind. Not a complete reset. Just one honest, forward-moving step. Maybe that means rereading your goals. Maybe that means walking for 5 minutes. Maybe that means forgiving yourself and trying again without judgment. Because the secret to lasting success isn't avoiding failure. It's recovering quickly. So when the fire dies down, remember, you've done hard things before. You've come back from worse. And you're stronger than your excuses. Motivation is a wave. But systems, habits, vision, those are your anchor. Let your habits carry you through the low moments. Let your identity keep showing up. And let your progress, however small, remind you that you're still moving forward. So here's what Master Your Motivation teaches us. Motivation isn't magic. It's momentum. It's clarity. It's emotion. It's action. And it's built step by step, choice by choice, day by day. If you're tired of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or defeated by your own mind, this book gives you the roadmap out. You already have what it takes. Now it's time to prove it to yourself. Like this video if it spoke to you. Comment below. What's one small step you're committing to today? And subscribe for more life-changing ideas that turn self-doubt into self-mastery.